Still, I can remember this incident. When I was little, when I was at school, one of my teachers came to our noisy classroom and she asked from us, "Do you know why you have given 2 ears and 1 mouth?" Then she said, "The reason why we have given 2 ears and 1 mouth is to talk less and to listen more." Ladies and gentlemen, when we deal with people in our relationship life, in your family life, in your workspace, if you have this quality of active listening, that can help you in many ways. This quality can help you in many ways. Okay? Now, so many people come to our temple and they talk with the monks with their problems and about their family problems, the problems in the workspace. And there's one thing that they all say, and that is, they say, they are not listening to me. They are not willing to pay attention to me. They cannot understand me. That is one thing that they say. So, if you have the art of active listening, if you practice the art of active listening, you will be liked by many people, right? People always like to talk with someone who is paying more attention to them, right? If you consider about the Buddha, Buddha was a great listener. At one time, one man comes up to the Buddha and he starts insulting him, right? He starts blaming him. All through that incident, the only thing that Buddha did was he listened to that person, right? He paid a good attention to that person. And in another time, one lady comes with her son died on her hand, and she was wailing and she was lamenting in front of the Buddha. And the only thing that the Buddha did was, he paid attention to that lady's suffering, right? He listened to that lady's suffering. So, if you can practice this art of active listening, if you can listen more and talk less, people will start to like you. Remember that. For an example, if you come up to me, right? If you wanted to talk about a problem that you are having in your life, and from the beginning of the conversation, if I started to give you instructions and give you the advice and my opinions about that problem, what would you feel? You will start to think like, this monk cannot understand me. He's not willing to pay attention to me. He's not willing to listen to me. So, practice this art of active listening. So how can we practice the listening? Well, the Buddha said that all the words that we speak from our mouth is pre-processed in our mind. That means we think first all these words and then we put it into our mouth and we speak. So if we can be mindful about what we think, what is going on in our mind, then it is very easy to control what you speak. And then it is very easy to know when to speak and when not to speak. So this practice is called, being mindful about the thoughts is called Chittanupassana in Buddhism, right? For that, the only thing that we have to do is like just sit in a quiet place and just watch our thoughts, what comes to our mind. We don't want to react with that thought. We don't want to chase behind that thought. Just identify the thought as just a thought. That is one practice that you can practice to be a good listener. And also, there's another way to practice this listening ability is to engage in conversations and try to listen more to that person. So, in the next conversation that you're having, try this out. Go to someone and if they wanted to talk with you, just from the beginning of the conversation, tell it to yourself that I'm going to listen to this person more. I'm going to pay attention to this person more. That is one way of paying and showing your love and affection to the person that is in front of you, right? That is why lending a good ear and listening to someone and sharing their suffering or problems with them is one way of showing your compassion and love towards them. Okay? So in the next conversation, when you go through that, just listen more to them. Let them put out what is in their mind. And when they go silent, and then you have to ask some more questions. Tell me, how did you do that? Right? How it happened? Right? Tell me more about the details that happened. Then they will be more interested in talking with you, and they will start to like you and love you. When you practice this, then you will get used to this active listening. Okay? And also remember, do not listen to someone just to reply to them or just to give your opinion to them. Always listen to people to understand about their situation, to understand who the person behind these words, and to understand the intention behind these words. When you do that, then you will become an active and a good listener, and then you will be liked by many people. So that is all about the active listening. Be mindful about your thoughts and listen more than you talk. Keep that in your mind. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. Today, let's talk about something that is really, really important for all of our lives. Now, if you want to be good at anything that you want to be good at, let's say if you're studying, or if you're meditating, or if you are someone who is practicing the spiritual path, what is that one quality that you have to have in your life to be a master of it? If you're studying, what is that one quality that you have to have in your life to be a master? That is called consistency. Have you ever thought about why we are so good at bad habits or bad things? Bad things like anger, getting angry all the time, or feeling jealousy all the time, or bad things like procrastination or laziness. Why we are so good at these things? We are so good at these things because we have done it over a long period of time continuously, right? If you start getting angry, or if you start losing your temper again and again every single day, what will happen? You will be good at it, okay? If you are procrastinating the things that you want to do, then you will be a good procrastinator. So, one main important quality to be good at anything in this life, or to have a habit to our life, is consistency. That is why we are so good at bad things. So we can use this theory or this consistency for our own benefit, right? If you're someone who is studying, right, you have to do it every single day, again and again, repeatedly, even in the days where you don't feel like doing it, because that is the hardest part and that is the most important part. When you feel like not doing it, but if you keep doing it, if you keep moving forward, if you keep going through it, then you will be able to make a good habit of it. And once you become good at it, or once you make a habit in it, then it will be so easy for you. So that is why our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, said that when you practice the spiritual path, right, when you practice meditations, do it again and again and again. Do not do it like here and there, once in a week, once in a blue moon. When you do that, and when you expect more results, you will never get it. So that is why Buddha said, Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuktya asevitaya bhavitaya bahuli kathaya. Buddha said, when you practice the mind of loving kindness, this is about practicing the loving kindness, meditation and mind of loving kindness. Asevitaya bhavitaya bahuli kathaya. That means you have to use that mind of loving kindness. You have to do it again and again, consistently, bahuli kathaya. Use it again and again. When you do that, you will be good at it. and the loving kindness or the love or the patience or the compassion will be a part of your life. Okay? So when you meditate, when you practice spiritual practice, or if you're studying, or if you're in a profession, if you are developing a skill, then what is the most important thing to have in your life to be good at it? The consistency. So do it on the days that you don't feel like doing it also, right? When you do that, when you move forward through it, then you will be a master of it. But here's the most important thing that you have to have. Do not judge your progress in your life, right? We are so busy to have quick progress, quick results, because we are used to this instant world, right? We live in an instant world, right? We can find everything we want in our mobile phone, right? If you want to Google something, instantly you get the results. So we are used to this instant world. But when it comes to the spiritual practice, when it comes to the soft skills or developing the skills that you want, it is not that easy and it is not that instant. You have to do it little by little, and you have to expect little progress from one session. So do not judge your progress. Do not judge your improvements. The most important thing is to do it every single day. Keep moving, and then you will be a master of anything that you want to be a master of. Okay? So I hope you got some idea about the consistency and the value of it. So keep practicing and keep doing these things. So I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you live in peace forever. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome you all wonderful people and my dear sons and daughters. Today, we are going to learn about the essence of Buddhism. Now, you may be having a question. What is the essence of Buddhism? What did Buddha really teach to us? Well, the Buddha answers this question from three separate verses, where you can find them in Dhammapada. If you are wondering what is Dhammapada, Dhammapada is a set of verses which was originally preached by the Buddha in certain occasions due to certain incidents that happened in the Buddha's time. So we have 423 verses in Dhammapada, which are categorized into 26 chapters, and in the 14th chapter, which is known as the Buddha Vagga, which gives the meaning of the chapter of the Buddha preaches and Buddha teaches us about the essence of the advice of the Buddhas, or essence of the Buddhism. Now, first of all, in this video, I'm going to share with you the first verse, and also I'm going to make another 2 videos for the other 2 verses. So from this video, we're going to learn the first verse and the meaning of that verse. So before everything, I'm going to chant it for you. So listen closely, and after that we are going to learn the meaning of it. The verse goes like this. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada sacitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanang. Okay, let's learn the meaning of that verse. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada. Let's take these 2 lines and learn the meaning. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang. Buddha teaches us, avoid all evil deeds, avoid all evil things from your life, and cultivate the good or the wholesome things in your life. Now, when we think about our mind, when you just think about your mind, it's very prominent, it's very clear that we have a higher sensitivity to negative things, or they're called the evil things like anger, jealous, hatred, selfishness, laziness, ego. All those evil things are very easy to cultivate through this mind, in this mind. Is that true? Yes, that is true, right? It's very easy to get angry. It is very easy to feel jealous. It is very easy to hate someone. So Buddha says, to avoid all evil things, what you have to do, cultivate more wholesome things in your mind. For an example, if you get angry all the time, little by little, try to practice the love and kindness. Try to practice the patience in your mind. That is what Buddha says. So what you have to do to avoid evil things, you have to cultivate more good things. That is the only way that we can avoid the evil things from our mind. To avoid any kind of bad habit, the only way is to replace that bad habit with a good one. Practice something good in the time that when you are about to do an evil thing. So that is what Buddha said. To avoid all the evil things, cultivate more wholesome qualities like love and kindness, patience, tolerance, and unselfishness, compassion, dedication, courage. So when you take about these wholesome qualities, it is very hard to practice. It's very hard to have the love and kindness inside your mind for a long time. We feel angry with people. But although these things are hard and difficult to do, what we have to do is we have to practice it little by little. We will fail, we will fall, we will cry. But we should not give up. That is what Buddha said. So to avoid all the evil things and to cultivate more wholesome qualities, and also Buddha said, Sachitta Pariyodapana, to cleanse one's mind. Now Buddha taught us, when you get these evil thoughts, these are called the defilements, right? The greed, the hatred, and the ego, or which we called the delusion. These three defilements makes our mind impure. Buddha said that the normal nature, by nature, our mind is very pure and it's very bright. But when we have this incoming defilements like greed, anger, and delusion, selfishness, what happens to our mind is it becomes impure. So to make your mind pure and cleanse it, cultivate the wholesome qualities in your life. Buddha said, Etang Buddhana Sasanang. This is the advice of the Buddhas to this world. So see how peaceful advice that the Buddha gave to this world. So everyone can practice this, right? There is no religious difference, there is no any bounds or any rules to practice this. Anyone can. We all can practice this, right? So when we practice, what happens to our life? We get happiness, right? We get that self-happiness about our life. So many people out there, they don't have that ability to be happy about themselves because they are doing these evil things. These evil things bring the sadness and the suffering and the regret to our life. So easily, the Buddha said, instead of doing evil things, try to practice something wholesome, something good. So what we all have to do, regardless of any kind of religion, we have to cultivate more good deeds and good emotions and good intentions, good thoughts inside our mind. As a result, surely we will get the happiness to our life. So do good and be good. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. So today, let's talk about loneliness and how we can face this situation. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about two things. And the first one is the loneliness, and the second one is the solitude, which is more reframed version of being alone. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about loneliness. When we are around people, when we are living with people, and when we are in relationships with people, normally we feel happy. We feel that we are content, right? And we feel this joyfulness within ourselves. But when they are not around us, or when they leave us, sometimes when we have to depart from them, normally we feel depressed, sad, or lonely, or we feel like no one cares about us. So this is the feeling of loneliness. If we analyze this emotion of loneliness, we can find that we have become happy because of the people around us, because of their reaction, because of their way of behavior. That was the reason that we became happy. Simply it means that we have given the key of our own happiness to other people. So when they leave our life, sometimes when they depart from ourselves, sometimes when they fade away from our life, what happens to us is we become unhappy. We become sad, we become depressed, and we feel like no one is caring for us. There is no one to help for me. That is what we are thinking. So how we can deal with this? Well, that is where we come to the topic of solitude. Supreme Buddha advised us, Supreme Buddha advised the monks to practice this practice of being solitude. So what do you mean by solitude? So first of all, let's compare the loneliness to the solitude. Then you can take some idea about that. In loneliness, when you're lonely, you're thinking for someone to come to your life and make you happy. That means you're depending on others. Your happiness depends on others. But in solitude, you try to find the happiness within yourself. When you find the happiness inside yourself, you don't want to depend on another person. You don't want to depend on second person. You can find your happiness within yourself. And that is what the practice of solitude gives us. So when you are being solitude, or simply when you are being alone, now there are the people talk about this like the loneliness and being alone is two different things, right? So when you're being alone or when you're being in solitude, you're happy. You're not finding the happiness from these outer sources. You find the happiness within yourself. So Buddha teaches us to look at this loneliness not as something to be sad, not as something negative. Buddha teaches us to look at this loneliness something that is beneficial for you, something that is positive. So how we can use this loneliness, or how we can reframe this loneliness to be positive? Well, if you think about whenever you are being alone, you have more time for yourself, right? You have a bigger freedom for yourself. You can think about yourself. You can reflect more about yourself, and you can practice meditations, or you can think about your health and do some practices about that. You can do some self-development techniques, so you can improve yourself. So when you use that time, when you use that loneliness for good things, then you become more positive about that. Then you will never feel these sad or depressing states. So let me tell you a little story how Buddha felt lonely at one time. Actually, this incident happened to the Buddha before he became enlightened. We call him the Bodhisattva. When he was Bodhisattva, he was practicing this self-mortification for 6 years. He gave lots of hardships to this body. He did some extreme meditations in the jungle. So there were 5 monks who were helping the Bodhisattva. So he practiced this self-mortification meditation for 6 years and he mastered that. Finally, he came to the conclusion of that I cannot achieve this enlightenment by self-mortificating or by giving this extreme hardship to this body. So he decided to find this middle way. So what he did was, first of all, he took his bowl and he went to the village and he got some foods to eat. Because he thought that to do the meditations, I need to have this physical energy. But those 5 monks who were helping to Bodhisattva, who were expecting the enlightenment from the Bodhisattva through this self-mortification, was so confused because they saw that the Bodhisattva is having these foods. Then those 5 monks thought, like, now he's not going to achieve this enlightenment. The enlightenment can only be achieved by this self-mortification. So they never believed on the Bodhisattva. So what they did was, they left the Bodhisattva. Now our Maha Bodhisattva was all alone in the middle of the jungle. There was no one to help him. There was no one to care about him. No one knew about him. He was all alone. But he didn't think about that loneliness as something depressed or something negative. So he thought, now I have more time for myself. I can do my meditations freely. There was no one to think about me. So I must use this time for my self-development. That is what Maha Bodhisattva thought. So that is the way that we also should think about this loneliness. If you are feeling lonely, if you are having some kind of a loneliness situations in your life, use that time, use that valuable time to create a better life for yourself. Because you have more time. You can do meditations. You can stick into a daily routine of the self-development. You can do meditations. You can do workouts. You can walk for some time. And you can be with this nature, read a book, or learn something new, practice meditations, do exercises. These things can be done when you are all alone. So, rather than feeling depressed about the situations that you are in, why can't we become more happy about the time that we are spending alone, right? So practice this, okay? So if people comes to your life, let them come. If people walks away from your life, let them walk away. But you have to be by yourself. You have to think about yourself. That is what you have to think, and that is what you have to do in this valuable time. So I think you got some idea about the loneliness and being in the solitude. So practice the solitude and make your life more better. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. I think you can remember, in last video we talk about how little changes, little things can make big changes in our life. Okay, so in life, the little things matter the most. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you 3 simple daily practices that can make a huge impact in all of our lives. So if you practice this, it is guaranteed that it can help you in many ways. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into the video. So the first practice is to practice gratitude, right? So most of the time, we are not happy with the life that we have gotten, right? We think my life is terrible, right? This is worthless. I'm not worth living. But when you practice gratitude, the first thing that we can do is to be grateful for our life. Every day, when you wake up in the morning, just close your eyes and think, I am grateful for the life that I have gotten, right? I'm grateful for every experience that the life have given me, that made me strong, that taught me many lessons. So be grateful for your life first. As the second step, be grateful for every person who is living around you. Okay? There are many people who have taught you many lessons, good or bad. Okay? There are good people who have given you nice memories, and there are bad people who have taught you good lessons to your life. Be grateful for everyone, no matter who the person is. It doesn't matter. Okay? So the one practice is to practice the gratitude. That is very simple. Take a few moments to do that. So the second practice is to practice mindfulness. During your day, take a few moments, maybe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to be mindful about what you are doing. To be mindful, you don't want to sit in one place or like do in a meditation posture. All what you have to do is to be mindful or to focus your mind to what you're doing. Maybe like if you're walking, just know that you're walking. Be mindful about it. Pay your attention to it. Okay? Or sit in a quiet place or sit in a relaxed place. Sit on a chair, maybe sit in the meditation posture, and just focus on the in-breath and the out-breath, how you breathe. Okay? That is one practice that you can practice to be mindful. And the final practice is to have a positive self-talk. Instead of positive self-talk, what we are doing, we talk negatively to ourselves. We think like, oh, I'm worst, right? I don't have any value in this life. Nobody loves me. Nobody takes care of me. The more you do it, it will make you a habit, and it will make your inner personality more negative, to think more negatively. So what we can do is take a little time in the day to have a positive self-talk with yourself. You think you value yourself. Oh, I am worthy of loving, right? I am worthy of living. My life is great. Okay? I can do many things. I can be more productive than I am. Okay? Always believe in yourself. This is one thing that I see in many people and many of our lives, that we can be more productive than now we are. Okay? We can be more productive and more successful than who we are now. Okay? So have a positive self-talk. Then it will make you a big change in the long run. So practice these little simple practices in your day and make your life a better one.